Warning. The following content is going to take you deep into the mind of a delusional man suffering from I want to be an elite soldier syndrome. Viewer discretion is advised. You damn right I'm talking shit.
Stolen Valor. This is one of the most disturbing cases of stolen valor I have ever seen. The culprit, Jason Blaha. A known yet unknown internet troll who claims to be part of the US military. Yet, when scrutinized by the people in the online community, he was unable to provide any documentation proving that he was ever a part of the US military. Then when further scrutinized, he backtracked his story. Now, he claims to be part of a private contracting firm who does snatch and grabs for the US military. When further scrutinization comes along, he then claims classified. No MOS number, he couldn't provide where he was stationed, he doesn't have a commanding officer. Every single question you have for him, he responds with this classified. And if you dig deeper, he replies with death threats, claiming he will kill anyone who ever approaches him in person, asking him about his stolen valor. Yet I've heard he was approached by a group of Marines, and when they asked him about his stolen valor, he shut down. Unable to talk, unable to speak, the frightening moment had him shook beyond his wildest dreams. Now, did that stop Jason Blaha from claiming he was a part of the military? No, it did not. As soon as he got back into his safe place behind the camera, he continued to make rants and ravings about being a part of the military, saying things like, F the veterans, F the people who serve this country, putting their life on the line for you and me, disrespecting everyone who has ever been in the military, anyone who's ever lived, anyone who's ever died. Every soldier out there disrespected by this mentally disturbed individual, Jason Blaha. As far as I'm concerned, he should be locked away in a mental asylum and never let out. I've heard things about him that will shake you to your core. Dressing up in army fatigues, going around places looking for fights with people, starting situations where there are none, him and his girlfriend a culprit in the crimes that he's trying to commit, a danger to the community around him. Here's a few rants and ravings of Jason Blaha.
So yeah, I'm a little bit fucked up. I'm a little bit crazy. We're the type of people, we're not even going to give you a clean death. We are the type of people that would be like, hey, fuck this Haji. I'm going to shoot him in the gut at 300 yards and let him bleed out for a little while. And then when he's too weak to fight back, me and my friends are going to go pick him up and have a little fun with him and make him fucking talk before we feed him to the pigs. That's Texas. No, I don't talk about my past because I used to work in intelligence. I worked in intelligence until I cracked under the stress from the PTSD. Even worse, we're really serious about revenge here. We're the type of people that we will just fuck them. I'm a little bit fucked up. I don't give a fuck if you're a veteran. Everyone I know who's ever killed anybody, myself included, from the moment you kill your first person, you're pretty well fucked in the head for the rest of your life. So it's actually kind of in our best interest for the whole Middle East to burn. I still have nightmares about the first time I killed somebody. This is what it is, and if you don't believe me, fuck you, go fuck yourself, I don't care.
I've come to the conclusion that Jason Blaha is a mental patient who isn't locked away. One of the few men who slipped through the cracks of the American justice system. There are people walking around like him everywhere. People who don't quite fit in. So what I believe we have here is a serious case of mental illness. I believe it runs in his family. I've seen some rants and ravings online about certain things going on in his bloodline on his father's side. They're kind of unrelated to this subject, but they are very serious in nature. If those of you who also studied Jason Blaha and his rants and ravings, you know what that is. That's not what we're here for today. That's for another video. Here's what a few other people have to think about his rants and ravings.
Yeah, those stolen valor dudes are very odd. When they get caught, we've seen a lot of those videos. That's a disturbing little mental illness to pretend to be some war hero.
It is. And you know what's interesting? They always get caught out because they're sort of very clever, but...
For those who don't understand, I trained at the farm at Langley.
It's a very bizarre mental illness.
It is, yeah.
It's so uncomfortable watching them get called out, too. There was one guy at an airport.
I love it.
And these Marines cornered him, and they started asking him questions. He started falling apart.
Now I have a treat for you all. Me being the thorough investigator that I am. I have a friend of mine that I've known for years. A real man who served in the U.S. Marines. A real veteran. He's going to speak on Jason Blaha and his stolen valor and what he thinks. Listen in.
So who I have on the phone right now is a man who is in the service, legit, 100%, bona fide, certified. Now, give us your thoughts on Jason Blaha and his stolen valor.
First of all, let me light my cigarette. Second of all, E2 Private First Class, served in the U.S. Marine Corps, Alpha Company, 1st Battalion, 3rd Marine Regiment, served from 05 to 09 with Station Jason Blaha, don't really know who you are, don't really give a fuck. All I know is what I've heard. You over here talking about you CIA, fuck all these veterans, I've killed for my country. Man, first of all, if you served your country, you'd be thankful for our veterans. Next thing, all this CIA bullshit, motherfucker, stop stealing shit from Rainbow Six. You've been playing too much Call of Duty. Second of all, I mean, why would you even fake that? You know what I mean? I could tell right off the bat you a fucking liar.
So how do you feel about the stolen valor and how he claims to be something that he's not, and there's men and women out there risking their lives every day for this country?
Well, there's multiple names for it. There's false valor, stolen valor. Either way you cut the cake, it's a felony, first of all. Second of all, it's just wrong. You don't say you're a cancer survivor when you had never had cancer. You don't say you're in the NBA when you never played basketball. He's lying. He ain't never talking about this CIA bullshit, fucking classified motherfucker. Why are you even talking about it if it's classified? You're obviously lying. Like I said, you're playing too many Rainbow Six games, okay? You over here trying to be Jason Bourne, watching movies, stealing stories, and pawn it off as your own experience. Don't ever here represent something you ain't. Would you go to prison saying you in fucking Mexican Mafia or Aryan Brotherhood, whatever you want to say? No, you wouldn't do that shit. You wouldn't say you're a cancer survivor when you never had cancer. So why the fuck are you saying you did all this fucking CIA top-trained special forces shit?
It seems like every time somebody calls him out, he gets defensive, and the first thing he says is, well, if you ever approach me, I'm going to shoot you in the face. Point blank, you're dead. His whole solution is to not even have a real conversation and show any proof in any form other than he says so, and it's classified.
Well, you know, I mean, if that goes along with anything else. Are you going to be ashamed if someone asks you, hey, do you play in the NBA? Are you going to get defensive and lie about it? If I ask you, hey, Alpha Wolf, have you ever lifted weights before? Are you going to get defensive and start saying you're going to beat my ass? Ask any veteran in the world, whether they're combat veterans, being in the military. You ask them if they were in the military, they're not going to get it and lie about it. They're going to tell you something they may not want to talk about, but they're going openly to cut open this guy with a knife. You know, why would you even talk about that? You're saying you can't talk about anything, but you're over here, buddy, you're CIA fucking CIA assassin, and you killed for your country, and you're a little bit crazy. You're right, you are a little bit crazy. You're a pathological liar. You believe everything that you say. And so do all your little YouTube nut hangers. We know the real deal. We know you're a fake. Everybody does. That's why you're suing people, because you're scared that you're going to get called out on. Last thing I got to say, Jason Blaha, quit lying. Quit lying to yourself, because it ain't cool.
What about the disrespect aspect of it? You got men and women out there every day risking their life. Just to even come out and make up some false shit. It's one thing to say, oh, I used to be in the NBA, but when you're dealing with the life and death situation, this is real life. This is war. This is people, and this is people lives involved. Not just the men and women in the service, but the family and everything. He's disrespecting everyone with this shit.
Well, before I answer that, I'm going to go ahead and need to light another cigarette, because that's a whole other topic.
Yeah.
Now, the disrespect factor on it is you're throwing dirt in everybody's face that didn't come back home. Whether you were Marine Corps, Army, Navy, Mr. CIA, Special Force, Jason Bourne, it don't matter. You're disrespecting everybody that served, but most of all, you're disrespecting people that didn't make it home. Why would you lie about that? I guarantee you go into a month, I don't care, you over here talking about you the biggest bodybuilder, you shoot people in the face, motherfucker. You go to any veteran and you say that shit, they're gonna look at you like you're fucking retarded. You know what I mean? Your level of your reputation on saying that you served, you were in the CIA is like, I would believe a kid if he said it more than I would believe you. But the disrespect factor is just, like I said earlier, how disrespectful would it be if you said you're a cancer survivor and you never had cancer? You kill people, but you never kill people. It's not even about killing people. It's about protecting the person that's next to you. It's not about, oh, I did all this, I did that, that means, and I mean, I don't even know what to say. Like, it's disrespectful, and it's a felony. You're over here suing people for stupid shit about video clips that they used yours and your girlfriend, all this shit. I've seen your little videos. Man, do you realize people could sue you? People could sue you. It's a felony. And I don't know why you think it's okay.
See, I think what it is he's lied to himself. Like I said the other day when we talked about it, it's the situation like this. If you go to a bar and you see a couple hot chicks, now you want to approach these chicks and be the best you can be, so you're going to come up with some fucking story. You walk up and say, hey, how you doing? I'm Jason Blaha, I was in the military. And not knowing that one of those girls has an older brother who's actually in the military. And she knows a few things. She heard some stories, so she might ask him a few questions. Stuff that he doesn't know. So when a person doesn't know, what is the default that they go to? Oh, well, it's classified. I can't speak on that. You can't speak on it because you don't know shit. There's nothing to speak on. You didn't go that far in your delusional lie. But he's been telling the people in himself this lie for so long that he actually believes it. And that's true for a lot of mental cases. If you tell yourself something enough times, you're going to believe it. Now your whole existence is defending the lie. And in your mind, it happened. And in the mind of some people, because I see some people saying, I believe you. I see a lot of people, they want to kill you for lying. It's a very serious situation. But you say something so much, you start to believe that shit. And that's what we have here with Jason Blaha. He really believes he was in the, despite debunking that part of it because he couldn't provide any numbers, any ID, anything that would ever prove that he was part of the military. So he backtracked on that and said, well, I was just a part of smash and grabs, and all of that is classified, so I can't speak on that. But then he comes on and he has a rant about how he shot a man and let him bleed out and pulled a blowtorch out and tried to do all these things to him. If everything is that part of your classified training or part of your classified mission, why would you even speak on that? You're saying they're going to lock you in jail. Why are you not in prison if you gave up such a gory detail in the situation of a snatch and grab, which is so classified? Because I watched the videos, I did the research. I'm looking at you on the screen. Crazy as you want to be.
I'm going to stop you right there. Well, first of all, to be, this is just based on my research and my understanding. To be inside in quote-unquote mercenaries, whatever the fuck he claims to be, you have to have, look it up, you have to have at least 10 years experience in the military for them to consider you, or a military background. They're not gonna hire some fucking YouTube channel guy or just anybody on the street to come do what they do. Second of all, this guy must have wrote Wedding Crashers because exactly what they did in the movie. And my final point is, if you ever ask any veteran, combat veteran, if you talk about it more than once, you're full of shit. And he's over here talking about it all the time. It's disrespectful, and it's unbelievable. And the part about his lying, he's a pathological liar. And the fact that when you get called out, you got to defend that lie. And obviously he can't defend it because he has no facts. All his facts are fucking bullshit. And, it's disrespectful. I can't get over the fact that somebody would want to do that. It's like a sick, it's a sickness. And unfortunately, we have people like that in the world today, and sometimes they catch them. I even seen a video where somebody came to a funeral and he was doing false valor and he got called out. And I'll tell you what, any veteran any veteran that's been in the military, and if they're accused of false valor, they're not going to let that shit go. They're just not going to let it go. Trust me, it's going to be proven that that there's no false valor. And the fact that you keep jumping to this classified shit is bullshit. What is it classified for? Who did you snatch and grab? Everybody they snatched and grabbed over there was on television. There might have been stuff that we didn't see, but this classified bullshit is such a fucking cop-out that he believes it. And it's just like, it blows my mind that these nut huggers that he has are believing all this bullshit he has to say. I mean, look at his fucking page, man. He goes on about it in almost every single one of his videos. Fuck veterans, fuck this. He did if he was over there doing what he said he did, why would he, if he's fighting and killing for his country, he insult people that are also doing it? If he knows what it's about, and he knows it's about protecting the man next to you, why would he insult those people? Because I guarantee you, if he was a quote-unquote mercenary, he wouldn't be talking about the people that he served with, because the people he served with probably were in the military before. So either he was the most hated man in his unit, or he's full of shit. And I'm going to go ahead and vote that he's full of shit.
Exactly. 100% bullshit. Like I was saying, if he was actually a part of smash and grabs, if he was actually in the military alongside with other mercenaries or men who were in the service, because like I said, if he's in there, you're not in there by yourself, you're in there with at least a team of 5 or 6, I'm assuming, I don't know, I wasn't in there, I'm assuming it's a team of 5 or 6 or 10, I don't know, but out of those other men, most of them had to have been in the service. So why hasn't anyone just stepped up to verify? They wouldn't have to give any details about, we did this in this person's name. If it's so classified, they would have said, you know what, I do know this man, he was with me, we did some things, and that's all I'm going to say about it. No one's come out to verify anything that you've ever said. The only person that's claiming that you did these things are you. You and that delusion. When you sit up at night and you think about what you're going to say the next day, you and that subconscious, pathetic mind of yours. That's your only verification. That's your only source. You were never in the military. You never did snatch and grabs. You're pathetic. There's not much more to say about this guy.
Now I'll say this. After all this time, after all this ducking and dodging and throwing out the word classified over and over and over, the thousands of threats online, the disrespect, why hasn't anyone ever stepped out to confirm that Jason Blaha was in fact a top elite military, not military, special ops classified, whatever he claimed to be. It's always something new. It's some deeper level. Every time you get to the point where you question that level he's at, he takes it even deeper into classification, being classified. I can't speak on that. Why hasn't anyone stepped out and said, you know what, I know this guy. We did this and that, here and there. Simple. That right there will cut right through all the bullshit. That will confirm that Jason Blaha is in fact what he claims to be. But it hasn't happened. And it won't ever happen. He will continue living the rest of his life in his delusional mind, day in and day out, believing something that he told himself 1,000 times. This is the story of Jason Blaha in a nutshell. One day Jason Blaha decided, you know what? Life is boring. From the day I was born, I was nothing more than a simple man, a simple person. I grew up and became a man, and I saw all these things that I wanted to be, but I just didn't have what it takes to be those things. So I make up this delusion in my mind that, I don't know, I'm an elite soldier. Like the Rambo movie or the Jason Bourne movie I saw. And when anyone ever questions that, I'll deem it classified information. When anyone wants any sort of proof of my claims, I'll just say it's classified. And hell, I'll even get online and make an online persona of this military figure. I'll get on eBay and buy all these trinkets and gadgets and guns and bullets and these bullet makers. I'll go to Army surplus stores and get whatever I can. I'll get these camo suits and pants and boots and goggles and vests and all this cool shit. Even a pair of night vision, that'd be awesome. All these little trinkets I can pull out, all these nice little handguns I can stash around my house and make myself feel safe from all the bad people out there. In your mind, Jason, you are living a delusion. The purest of all delusions. Believing you're something you are not. When the rest of us, in fact, live in reality. You don't. You're not here with us. You're somewhere else. You're somewhere separated. I do believe you need to be locked away in an insane asylum. Like I said, I've heard stories of you dressing up in your fatigues, walking around your apartment complex, looking for victims. Hoping you and your girlfriend can record something on Instagram or Snapchat and start an altercation with someone. And then you can stand your ground and blow them away. That's pathetic. You're a pathetic little man. A sad little man, all of 5'6", 240-something pounds of blubbering neck. You sit here on the internet every day, spewing your lies. You know this, you know that. You have 2 black belts. You're an elite sniper. You can shoot a fly off a buffalo's back from 20 miles away. Really? Jason Blaha. Jason Blaha. What are we going to do with you? What are we going to do? What can we do? Because every time we try to get the truth out of you, you say it's classified. The truth is classified. You want the truth. But you don't have the truth. Because in your mind right now, at this very moment, you watching this video, and I know you're watching, in your mind, you're convinced you did all these things you say you've done. But in fact, it never happened. And it never will. Now, the rest of that phone conversation you heard between me and a real Marine will be played at a later date. We will continue to show you just how full of shit and malarkey old Jason Blaha is. Him and his delusional mind. The rest of those tapes and other information and content will come out. And trust me, I have a few people who can dig and try to find things. The funny thing is, I'll say this, as of right now, the digging that we are doing, we're pulling up nothing. You're threatening people saying, I'll sue you. You had a video. You said, I will sue anyone. The military will arrest anyone who digs into these classified files. You will spend the rest of your life in Guantanamo Bay and all these threats. Someone's going to kick down your door and they're going to arrest you and do all these things. Anyone looks for these files. You were so passionately irate about it. In reality, there is no files to grab, to look for. There's nothing there. We're going to look just for shits and gigs. Just in case, on the slight chance that you might be telling the truth. I highly doubt that. I'm willing to bet my left ball sack on that. And Jason, you're full of shit. And I happen to like my left ball sack. So, the rest of those tapes will come out. And we will continue from this day forward to give you all the information you need on Jason Blaha. Granted, we can find it, because we have been trying. So, that's my 2 cents.